The FIRE movement is completely dead. It's a waste of your time. It's honestly a scam. And I should know, I'm on a kayak in the middle of a lake on Tuesday at 2 o'clock. I'm not on vacation. I'm not unemployed. I have no boss that's calling me trying to get me back into the office. This is just my life. This is just an average Tuesday in my life. And I do want to say that I know this because I used to be someone who really followed the FIRE principles, pinching your pennies, saving as much money as you can, retire by 30 or 40. And I quickly realized that it's a complete waste of time. In this video, I want to show you why it's broken, and I want to show you the better way, the alternative that's actually realistically possible to achieve, that's way better than FIRE. So to start with why FIRE is broken. FIRE is broken for a few reasons. One is inflation and the cost of living. Now, most of you watching this video, I'm going to assume, are not getting raises that are higher than inflation every single year. If you're lucky, maybe you get raises that keep up with inflation. But for the most part, most of you watching this video are going to have a salary that is essentially losing money every year to inflation. On top of that, house prices and rental prices are absolutely insane. If you have not bought a house yet, you are almost priced out of the market, or at least you are priced out of being able to achieve financial independence or retire early, the FIRE philosophy. And I'll give you an example of my brother. My brother went to school, moved to Toronto to go to U of T, and he got an apartment, 2-bedroom, pretty reasonably affordable for rent. And there's a rent cap in Toronto. So he stayed in that apartment for 10 years because every year the rental prices got more and more unaffordable, and he wanted to save money. So he looked at moving, and he just simply couldn't do it because he's like, why would I move? The equivalent 2-bedroom condo in Toronto now is double the price of what he's currently paying. So here he was stuck in this conundrum: either move and no longer save money and live in a better place, or stay where you currently are and save money. And like most people, as your life evolves and you change, my brother now has a family. And so they have moved, and they moved because they need a bigger place to raise their family. And now his costs have more than doubled. Is financial independence, retire early, even feasible now? Now that you are literally taking thousands of dollars of a month out from what you could be saving and now putting it towards a place to live. Really, when you just keep those two things in mind, the fact that wages are basically stagnant and that your cost of living is just continuing to rise, you quickly realize that it is really the possibility of achieving FIRE, financial independence, is like your normal retirement age now. Like, you're looking at, even if you're saving as much money as you can and pinching all your pennies and changing jobs for a new promotion and running side hustles, you're still looking at retiring in like your 60s and 70s. So what FIRE was based on before was having a really low cost of living and being able to increase your income. Those are the two things that made FIRE possible. And now those two things don't exist. And that's why anyone who is preaching about FIRE and financial independence, retire early, they've already done it. And if you look back in my channel, you'll see that I too was very interested in financial independence and retiring early. I wanted to be financially free. And so a lot of my early videos were on pinching pennies and maximizing your RSP versus TFSA and the best brokerage accounts. And I still make some content like that. But I quickly realized that the people who were preaching financial independence and retiring early are actually making their money in a very different way. And that brings me to part 2 in this video, which is the realistic way, basically, of becoming financially independent. And that is running a low maintenance lifestyle business. Because something didn't sit well with me when I was first creating my Money with Mark videos here on YouTube. And that was, I was looking at all the people who were also making financial independence content, and they all had businesses behind the scenes. They had books that were doing multi-millions in sales. They had websites and affiliate links that were driving tens of thousands of dollars of revenue for them every year or every month. And so some of them, even a lot of them, have courses too, right, on like how to invest in, best investment accounts and strategies and all this stuff. And some of them sold financial services and wealth coaching. So it became blatantly obvious to me that the only people who were actually achieving financial independence were those that were running lifestyle businesses. Businesses that are low maintenance, businesses that are high profit margin, and businesses that don't require your time to make more money. Because that's the biggest thing that you will notice when you start to study the wealthy, is the wealthy do not trade their time for money. The wealthy own assets that pay them money. And those assets, for a lot of people, and I think the most realistic way for anyone working a 9-to-5 day job to become financially independent, is to run a business and that be your asset. And your business can honestly be anything. But when you do become a lifestyle entrepreneur, when you run a low maintenance business, you can do things like this, which is not having a boss, going out for a paddle on a Tuesday afternoon, and do this every single Tuesday because I don't have a boss breathing down my neck. I have a business that, for the most part, is not time sensitive, so I can work at night when the sun's set for a couple hours. And more importantly, I built my business so that way we charge off of the value we provide, not our time that we actually put into the business. And that, in my opinion, is how you achieve financial independence. Because why do you want financial independence? At least for me, I wanted it because I wanted to do things like this, like paddle on an open lake mid-Tuesday. I wanted to spend more time with my family and be there for breakfast and for dinners with them. And at the end of the day, I realized that I didn't want to retire early. I wanted a lifestyle that allowed me to set my own schedule and allowed me to live life on my terms and not my boss's terms. And so that's why I think it's so important that if you seriously are considering financial independence and retiring early, the whole FIRE movement, I think you need to seriously consider running a low maintenance business. Particularly, I recommend a lifestyle business. And if you want to learn exactly how I built my lifestyle business and how I do my marketing for my lifestyle business, you can use the link down below this video. And I've really built out, I've honestly just broken down on my full business model and how I view building a business that's low maintenance and a business that is a lifestyle business. And that means it works for your lifestyle, not against it. Because I could make more money working 80 hours a week, but I don't want to work 80 hours a week. I want to be there for dinners with my family, serve my children breakfast, spend time with my wife, and paddle on a Tuesday afternoon when it's nice and sunny out. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, subscribe to Money with Mark, and I'll see you in the next video.